A vague MBA career goal can actually kill your application. No matter how strong your profile is, no matter how good your GMAT score is, no matter how great your career milestones have been. So that is why today's session is extremely important. It is one of my favorite sessions on career goals, post MBA career goals, how to come up with short term and long term post MBA career goals that are achievable yet ambitious and that leave an impact in the mind of the reader. So today we will discuss this about crafting post MBA career goals. So these are the parts of any typical goals essay, right? You have the short term goals, the long term goals, the long term vision. Why now? Why us? The school resources, and of course they're also looking for a cultural fit within the application. I'm going to talk about thumb rules of each of these parts. Especially, we'll start with first the short term career goals. So, a major rule to always remember when you're coming up with a short term career goal is A, you should be as specific as possible. So, you should clearly define the industry that you want to be a part of post MBA, the industry slash sector, the companies. So, name at least two companies is what I tell my clients. Where you look forward to joining after your MBA program, and also the role or the function that you want to be a part of in the post MBA career goal, in the short term post MBA career goal. The next the next thumb rule is with regards to the long term career goal. And since a long term career goal is almost 10 years away, they do not expect total clarity, but what they expect is a vision. What is it that you want to achieve? Because how you want to achieve it can change, but the vision generally never changes. So carve out a goal which has a vision in place and which also has impact within the vision. One of the key mistakes which I see a lot of clients make is the goals, whether it's the short term career goal or the long term career goal, it's all about themselves. I want to become, let's say, within 10 years, I want to become the CEO of a firm. That's great. But MBA is not just about your growth. They are looking for leaders for tomorrow. So they also want to know what you bring on the table, how you're going to change the ecosystem which we are already a part of. Will achieving your goals actually positively impact a set of population, the environment that we live in? So that is why when you're putting the vision out there, please think long term and also please think beyond yourself. The next is, of course, why the particular school. This becomes extremely important because every school wants to know why you want to join them. So be as specific as possible. What are the resources that you're going to leverage? What is the network that you're going to leverage to achieve those goals? All MBA programs pretty much offer the same sort of courses, right? Then why both? Why Harvard? Why Stanford? How is it that going to a Stanford would help you achieve your goals better than going to, let's say, Harvard, let's say, a Wharton? So be as specific as possible when it comes to why that particular school and why an MBA. We'll also talk about this in greater detail in the subsequent slides. But if you feel that there is any particular part that you're struggling with, you can put in this comment section and I can take it up later. Is it the short term career goal that you're struggling with, or is it the long term career goal that you're struggling with? Or do you think that you have it all figured out? So please put it in the comment box as we go along. Now, this is an interesting slide because it talks about how do you formulate those goals. We've spoken about what are some of the key ways that, the talking points that you should have around those goals. But how do you even come up with those talking points? So one, you should have an origin story. What is the motivation behind the goal, right? Like it could be an aha moment, a moment in time that changed your perspective towards certain things and you decided this is what you want to pursue. Or it could be a sequence of events. But what typically they are looking for is something which is which shows that the person has done a lot of self-reflection. So the one important part, of course, is the origin story. The second is your goals should be rooted in past experience. That is very important. I can get up the next day morning and decide that, oh my God, I want to save water on this planet. That's a great goal to have. But have I done anything about those goals? Has my 6, 7, 8, 10 years of career trajectory, in those years, have I done anything about water? If not, then that's just a goal on paper which looks nice, but you're not going to get any buy-in, because that means that you've not been serious about your goal. So all of your goals have to be rooted in past experience. One important reason is that. The second important reason is that ultimately every school wants to recruit those candidates who they think that they can place after their program is finished. Now, if your goals are not rooted in past experience, then basically you're projecting yourself as a very, very risky profile. You've suddenly decided to change everything about your career, and that might not go down too well with the AdCom team. The next point, again, is very important, which is the skill gap. So, when we talk about why MBA, I always like clients to go through a pressure test. Let's say you've come up with some short term goals, but I ask them, what if you stayed in the position that you are in and you grow from there, and in the next 2, 3 years you reach your short term career goals? So then why do you even want to go and do an MBA? You might as well wait and earn while you are trying to achieve those goals, which could be achieved without an MBA. So that brings me to a very important aspect of your goals, which is the skill gap, which an MBA is going to bridge, which probably being in a certain company or changing jobs is not going to help you get to your short term career goals. So always treat your career goals as a skill gap, which would be bridged only via an MBA. So these are three important factors. And of course, another important factor which I've already spoken about is that goals should be beyond yourself. So always show the larger picture, always show the kind of impact that you want to make while achieving these goals. If you feel that you've identified the skill gap, then please put skill gap on the comment. Or if you feel that you are not able to figure out how to come up with the origin story, and that's the biggest challenge, then please comment origin story in the comment box. Now, in life, it's important to know what you want to do, but it's also important to know what you don't want to do, right? So things to avoid becomes as important as knowing what you have to do. One of the key things which I tell my clients is, please do not project your post MBA goals as a triple jump goals. What do I mean by that? So, as a triple jumper, I would show that, okay, I'm changing my industry from healthcare. Let's say I'm moving to an altogether new industry, social, something which is very, very different from healthcare. I'm changing my function as well, and I'm changing my geography as well. So, what happens is, when you project yourself as a triple jumper, it's a big red flag for anybody who's reading your application. And the major reason is that you become like a risky recruit for them, because how about just going and talking to somebody whom you want to work with, and say that, what, I just want to do this, and I have no past experience and I don't bring any transferable skills, but this is what I'm very passionate about. Passion is great, but you cannot project yourself as a triple jumper. It's Nobody's going to hire a triple jumper because it's extremely risky, and MBA schools do not want to take so big a chance. So, if you found this interesting, or if you feel that triple jumper is something that you want to do still, then we can talk further. But I mean, I haven't, in my so many years of working as an admissions consultant, I haven't come across anybody who's portrayed themselves as a triple jumper and made it even to the interview round. Moving on, here are some other things to avoid. And one of the things which I want you to draw your attention towards is unaware of statistics. So please research the employment report. All these employment reports are available online, and all the schools publish the employment report. So please go to these reports, identify the companies that you want to work for. Because let me tell you, if you put in two companies where you want to work, and none of those companies are actually coming on campus, then that's a cause of concern. So please do thorough business research, because business school research is so important that even if, let's say, through a thin research you somehow make it to the interview round, it gets caught at the interview level. So business school research helps you make the right decision, not only in school selection, but also in coming up with quality application, and then helping you crack those tough interviews as well. Another thing is, of course, mismatched ambitions. While your goals cannot be over ambitious, so it cannot be unambitious. You should not just go to the other spectrum and say, okay, I don't want to project myself as a risky profile. So I'm just going to say that, I have a job waiting for me, and this is how it's going to all work out. Because AdCom members are smart. They have been reading applications for a very long time. So please see that the goals are actually rooted in the three pillars that I spoke about. One is, of course, your past experience. Second is motivation. And third, there is a genuine skill gap. And I genuinely feel that the person's going to merit from going to an MBA program. So, yeah, these were some of the things that I wanted to talk about in this. And I think if you have questions, please continue putting them in the comment section. And I'm going to start taking questions very soon. But yeah, let me know if there was any key takeaway from this session. You could put it on the comment section as well. I'm going to give you some examples of how few of my clients came up with the motivation angle, right? So let's say somebody had gone through a lot of health issues, and did a lot of trips to these hospitals, and figured out that just treating something which is a rare disease and which is a terminal disease is so expensive. So they started thinking on those lines, and their goals informed that, and said that, okay, I'm going to come up with, my vision is to actually make these terminal illnesses less expensive to be treated and more affordable. And then the short term goal was a stepping stone towards those long term goals. So this is how a motivation or the origin story can come up. An origin story can be a combination of personal experience as well as professional experience, or it could purely come from your professional experience. Like, for example, you've been researching a lot of EV, right? And you realize that there has been a lot of bad or worth advertisements about EV because of lack of infrastructure in a particular country. And you say that, okay, you know what, this is not what I want to do. And I want to make EV very popular because I see a genuine reason of why they should be promoted. So, I'm going to build like EV infrastructure, and I'm going to maybe come up with a fund that's going to help me get the capital to build that infrastructure. So, and it could come from a personal experience that, let's say, uh, you know, uh, you had a great experience driving that vehicle, and you feel that it generally helps reduce, some of the environmental impacts which cars, in which cars damage the environment. Okay, so we have a few questions. One of it is long-term period of unemployment due to a layoff. This is okay. So I think the question is trying to ask that, uh, what if there is a layoff and you've been unemployed for 12 months? So this is something which will have to be explained in the optional essay, right? Like, if it's a negative, something negative about your profile, then you need to explain what really happened and what you learned from the experience, and then how did you move forward from there. So yeah, this is a question which should be answered in the optional essay. Where Natasha is asking, where do you communicate this origin story essays? Yes, the origin story typically should be a part of your short term and long term goals essay, because that is where they're interested in knowing that the most. But sometimes if you feel that there is more to the origin story, and you have also taken other initiative towards it which requires a lot of explanation, then it really depends on which school you're applying to, what are the questions they're asking. But typically I have seen, like, it's best to put origin story in the post MBA goals essay. Okay, Ritima is asking, I have 12 years of work experience and 10 years in banking, and age is 36. Will that be a bar pursuing full-time MBA and not an executive MBA finance? I want to mend the gap I have in strategic finance. So, Rithma, I think we'll have to do a deeper dive into your profile to understand what you've done in that 12 years of experience. What I would encourage you to do is that there is a book an appointment link, and you can always book an appointment with us. That's totally complimentary, and you get a 30-minute call with one of our consultants. And there you can discuss this in detail as to whether a full time MBA or an executive MBA is going to make sense. Okay, I have another question. I have a career switch customer service to data scientist. Can that be a part of why MBA? I want to leverage my data science experience in my MBA. So, yes, career switch, the reasons why you left a particular place, an industry, or a function, that's something which I have seen a lot of clients come up with, right? Absolutely changed the past industry, changed the past function, and moved on to something else. And then one of the questions that they have is, now how do I connect the dots? And let me tell you, sometimes it's not just about, like, connecting the dots just to cover up something. You need to understand what are the transferable skills that you have taken from the previous from your previous work to the new work, and how you've been able to impact the current work in a positive manner through your transferable skills. So yeah, that's the answer which I have for you. uh, Johan is asking, okay, hi Gunjan, thank you for the session. Is it possible to elaborate on how to research for school fits when pretty much all the top schools have similar employment and cultural opportunities? Uh, School research is a very big topic, okay, Johan, and it's something that has to be. So it's not just that you just look at the school and you look at the employment report and you make a decision. It also depends on where your post MBA industry is. Okay, so it's also rooted in your professional goals as well as your personal goals. We do come across clients who would say that, okay, I'm just interested in applying to the UK because for XYZ reasons, it's closer to home, or Middle East. Middle East is the market that I want to come back to, and I think it's an easier route to go to the UK and then join the Middle East market, for example. So uh, it's not just about, like, you look at the employment report and then you look at the cultural opportunities and you take a call as to, okay, this is the school that you want to apply to. A lot of factors go in. The class size becomes extremely important. Some people, they want to go to programs with lesser class size, whereas others would prefer a big class size because that would give them opportunity to interact with far more people than a smaller class size. So there are a lot of different factors. Maybe you could go back, Johan, to a previous webinar which we have done on business school research and how to do research in a manner that helps you find your dream safety and target schools. Right. I don't think that there are any more questions. So thank you so much for joining in. And I hope you were able to find value in the session that was presented today. Thank you very much, everyone.